Hi, everybody. We're back with Brenda Iokepa-Moses from USDA Rural Development. Before I introduce Brenda, I want to take a moment to thank all of you, thank the HCA Board of Directors, thank our sponsors in Savor Brands. It's our platinum sponsor. Our gold sponsor for these sessions is Bendig. And our silver sponsors are Lind Insurance Services and Downtown Coffee of Honolulu. There's an opportunity to contribute to the HCA. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more of it, please help us put on these webinar series. And thanks again for joining us, Brenda. Brenda is the USDA Rural Development State Director, whose territory also includes all of Hawaii, American Samoa, and the Western Pacific region, which includes Guam. Brenda uses her leadership experience to oversee the rural development programs in a customer-focused manner to restore prosperity in rural Hawaii. Very appropriate topic for these times. Since 2013, Brenda served as the president of the Hawaii Association of Conservation Districts. She also served as chairperson on the Ka'u Soil and Water Conservation District Board and was past president of Ka'u Farm Bureau. Please join me in welcoming Brenda Iokepa-Moses. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Chris. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you fine.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I am so honored and privileged to be a part of this webinar today. You know, coffee is near and dear to my heart, with Ka'u coffee roots back since the plantation days. So I am privileged and honored to have taken this position with the rural development. And one of my initiatives is this very thing, is to get the word out regarding our programs. I have been dealing with community groups for many, many years, and also with the USDA. And I didn't know all of the programs that USDA Rural Development has to offer to our rural communities until I took this political appointment. So I am ready to share that with you. Since the COVID-19, and I'm wearing my disaster USDA relief hat because I feel like it's appropriate with these times, with the pandemic and all of the things that are going on. It's brought a lot of concerns from our rural communities and businesses. So USDA Rural Development has, since the pandemic, has done many allowances to try to assist our ranchers, our farmers, and our rural communities in trying to help them through these times of uncertainty by extending and deferrals and deferences. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that as well as all of our different programs that we have. So with that, Chris, we'll go ahead and get the slide up there. Okay, so I think, you know, we have over 40 programs here with USDA, and I'm obviously not going to be able to talk about all of them with you today, but I do want to share some important information with you so you can have at an opportunity at your leisure to go through our website and to look at all the programs. We have over 40, and I had no idea of some of the programs that we have, and they could be beneficial to you, your family members. So share this information with people that you know and love. There's a lot of federal monies out there, and my goal is to not send any of that back to the federal government. We have been allotted a lot of money in the past. It's not all been utilized, so that's where I'm trying to get the word out so more families and more communities can benefit from them. So this first slide is basically just our area directors that we have. We have people that represent each area that we have. We have a lot of, as you can see, a lot of different areas. State of Hawaii, which we have a presence in all of the islands. The state office being located here in Hilo, and we have the majority of our employees here. We have a total of 42 employees, some vacancies right now, but if we had full staffing, we'd have a total of 42 employees that cover state of Hawaii, all of the islands, American Samoa, Guam, Simanai. We don't have an office currently there, but Republic of Palau, Republic of the Marshall Islands, Federated States of Micronesia. As you can see, we have a lot of areas that we cover. We got great community programs director that we just welcomed from DC, Alton Kimura. He was formerly here in Hilo, and he's going to be moving back here to serve as our director. Community facility programs we'll briefly talk about. It has amazing programs out there, emergency response monies for our police department, for our firefighters. We also have community kitchen monies. Nonprofit groups can benefit from this. There's telemedicine money out there. So there's a lot of programs under community facilities that are being underutilized currently. We have business programs. Denise Salmoran, she's been with the USDA for many years. She's very, very knowledgeable on all of our programs, and the B&I CARES Act that we'll be talking about this afternoon, and some of the allowances that we're allowing right now. And Cynthia Jackson, she's over our housing programs, and we offer many different variety of loans for rural community members, low-income housing. And she also handles our multifamily housing, which we have farm labor housing is under that realm as well. I'd like to just make a plug for our farm labor housing. Out of a $2 million budget, which is very small for a nationwide budget, out of $2 million, we utilized over half of that for farm labor housing here in Hawaii. So we're proud of that, and that's something that we're trying to work to get more monies for, because I think farm labor housing is a big issue. If you take away anything today, we'd like you to take away these two websites. We have an innovation center at our national office that spent some time creating a website that has all of the federal programs. We try to encapsulate all of the federal programs that are out there for families, businesses, nonprofit groups that experience COVID-19 shortfalls because of COVID-19. So not only is it USDA rural development programs and federal monies, but also NRCS and all of our different FSA and all of the different federal programs that are out there. So it's a one-stop shop. And we have noticed that many customers that are calling us right now are under distress, and they don't really want to navigate through all of the different websites that are out there and try to research it. So this has been a very helpful tool that we've created. And so those two websites, the rdusda.gov/coronavirus, is the most up-to-date. So if you want minute-by-minute updates, that is the most up-to-date website that we have. So you're welcome to look at that website and share that website with others. We also welcome you to look at our USDA RD website, just to look at the different programs that we have to see if that can help any of your communities. So RD programs, we have immediate action to our single family housing is we issued a 60-day moratorium on foreclosures and evictions, and we just extended that through September. Payment moratoriums and assistance for our multifamily housing projects, and we modified some of the reporting and repair inspections, employment verification to relate to our COVID-19, and obviously we don't want to expose our businesses and or housing to get appraisals done at this time. So some of those multifamily housing programs, the same thing goes for them: eviction and penalty protection due to non-payment, the forbearances extension for our property owners, and the community facilities direct also extended an olive leaf to some of those programs that are finding it hard to make that monthly mortgage payment back to USDA. So we've allowed 180 loan deferral, and with extensions allowed as well if you're asking for them. So some of the programs that I was surprised to learn about when I joined USDA is our wastewater disposal loan program. We have a loan program that's very low interest, and it's available for developers of wastewater systems. But we also have a 504 grant. Now, many of us in many of our communities are going through the conversion right now, where they're mandated to walk away from their cesspools, cap those off, and join the community line that's being created. And that's at a cost to them, sometimes as much as $20,000. So, if you're a person that owns a property in a rural area and you are low income, this is an opportunity for you to get a grant of up to $10,000 that will help you with that connection. So that was not known, not even by the county here, County of Hawaii. So when we met with them, we explained that program to them. Now you have to be a homeowner of the property, so you can't be renting it out to another person, but there's some stipulations there, but it's something that you'd want to look into. We also have, if you don't qualify for the low income grant, that's available for if you need to be 62 years or older. But we also have a 1% interest loan that's over 40 years, and it might be a feasible offer to you as well. So that's something that you should look into. We are working on some telecom initiatives right now, and there's a lot of money in the telecom and telemedicine grants right now. And if you fill out an application, a full application, and our staff is more than willing and happy to assist, they're not turning down any of those grant applications. They have a sufficient amount of money in those grants. So that's one that if you want to learn about, go on the website, learn more about it. You can also contact USDA to ask certain questions. That's really, with these times, it is a one that you should really look into. Like I said, we're not turning down applications. If you are qualified and you filled out an application and it's full and complete, you're going to get that money. So it's a great one to look at. And then we just have the same thing. We're extending deadlines for borrowers, 60 days. And we have our lenders for the RD, immediate actions for the rural business cooperative services, kind of the same thing. We're offering 180 loan deferrals with the possibility of extensions. And so those are ongoing. It's changing as the times change, and we'll see how that goes. The CARES Act was a big one that came out recently. We've appropriated $20.5 million in this budget authority, supporting up to $1 billion in program funding. This one is the one that you'd want to talk to one of our staff members about, Denise Salmaran, our business programs director. But this one's pretty unique in that it has 10-year repayment terms, and the first year you can defer both the loan principal and the interest. So that's something that's unique. The second and third year you can defer the interest only and just pay against the principal. So this is definitely one that if businesses are interested, you should look into this one. And we're working on Reconnect. It's trying to get the communities that don't have accessibility to internet services. I'm trying to think out of the box a little bit and trying to work with the underwater cables that are needing replacement here in Hawaii. Distance learning and telemedicine is the one that I kind of talked to you about briefly. It has a lot of money in that program, and a lot is being turned back each year. So we really want to look at that opportunities. So learn more about that on the website. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've done so far with Hawaii and Western Pacific. And for our housing programs, we've had 131 moratoriums approved by Hawaii due to the COVID-19. Our multifamily housing has had 5 forbearances requested and approved. We have a few more coming in the window right now, but those are the ones that have been approved. Community programs, community facility programs, we've had a total of 9 requests for deferrals, and that included, that totals about $15 million worth of programs that's asked for a 1-year deferral. Our business programs has had 5 business program related deferrals, and that encumbered about $13 million worth of revenue. Farm labor housing, we have had an amazing year. Like I said, with farm labor housing, we've utilized over half of the national budget just here in Hawaii, and that was over $1 million, $1.125 million. And that was in, both of those sites were in Oahu, but we're definitely have some need for that on the Big Island. So if that's something that your business or that you know of anybody that's interested in, give us a call. Let's discuss that, because I think it's a program that would be very beneficial, not only to Hawaii, but the Western Pacific as well. So these are some of the websites that I was talking about. Please look at them and get familiar with our programs. Since I'm from a rural area and I drive over an hour and a half to get to work every morning, I kind of have reminded my staff what kind of customers we're dealing with. And those are the rural area customers. You know, they're tired at the end of the day. Some of them have a full-time job. They're farmers part-time. They really don't have the energy to do applications. So we're trying to be more thoughtful of that process. We've also collaborated with Kohala Center, and they can actually be a packager for some of our programs with business programs. I'm trying to expand them even to help package with some of the community facilities programs. So the farmers can basically talk to a representative at Kohala, Nicole, or one of the others, and verbally tell them what their project is, and they can do more of the legwork for the farmers. Because the numbers right now are not representative of our needs here in Hawaii and Western Pacific, which they say we turn back money year after year. And it's not because we don't need it. I think it's because it's a lot of work with the applications. And at the end of the day, farmers are tired. And so if we can help them through the process, I think that will definitely increase our applications and our utilizations of the federal funds. So I thank you for that. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, I could talk for hours about the programs that we have here. They're all so great and so beneficial to our rural communities. But I just encourage you, if anything, you take back with you these websites and take a moment to look through them. We have 504 grants and grants that we have available for home improvements that many people have never heard of before. If you're a senior, 62 years or older, and you are in a rural area and low income, you can get up to a $10,000 grant to fix your home, health and safety issues. If you're eligible, if you're not 62 years or older, there's still low interest loans that you can get up to 20,000, 1% interest to do home improvement for safety and welfare. So those programs are currently underutilized. So if you have any interest in that, look into that for sure. And our business programs has the value-added programs like some of our coffee farmers have used in the past to help get the word out, to improve website appearance, business cards. All of those things can be covered in our business programs, grants, and loans that we have offered.
Thanks, Brenda. That was a
Chris,
really
I'll turn it back over to you to see if there's any questions that we have.
review of the programs over at Rural Development. And we're very lucky to have someone who has, what I'll say, coffee in their veins. You were instrumental in the establishment of the Ka'u Coffee Origin back when T. Brewer was there. So hats off to you. We do have a question from Adam who's asking, will the rural broadband grant be offered again?
Yes, we know for sure next year. We anticipate that will be one that will continue. We can't promise that, but it's been all the other states have been using this program. Western Pacific has got a big portion of this as well. But yes, we anticipate that to be one of the initiatives that were very high up on the priority list for the government.
Any more questions from the audience for Brenda? Okay, there's a lot of good information there. Before we let you go, I just want to say thank you for coming and sharing your work with us, and doing a lot of good work out there, Brenda. I know you a long time, and we couldn't ask for a better person in that position. I also want to thank our sponsors, Savor Brands, Bendig, Lind Insurance Services, and Downtown Coffee. If you like what you see,
thank you.
Please contribute to the HCA. There'll be a button on the screen. All the webinars, all the videos will be available on the webinar page. I have one last question. I've gone through info on several programs. Is there someone we can speak with to see if we are eligible? You want to take that one, Brenda?
So which programs are we talking about? Are we talking about housing programs, youth programs, or community facilities?
Your audio is a little faint right now. Sharon, if you email the HCA through our website, I'll make sure that Brenda gets your question.
Yeah, and just if you guys can hear me on that slide, that slide's going to be available. My program director's numbers, contact numbers, direct email, and contact numbers are on there. So depending on what program you're interested in, you can call them directly. Even though they're teleworking, that rolls right over to their home, and so we'll be answering those questions.
Okay, Sharon, I hope that answers your question.
Chris,
Email us.
before we leave,
Go ahead.
another question. Before we leave, because Chris, you've done a lot of good things, and I want to thank you for working with me all these years. Chris has been so instrumental in KAU and doing all of the things that he's done for our coffee farmers. He's the one that got us noted in SCAA. I mean, we would have never even thought to be at that level without Chris's help. And Ala, you've been a tremendous support for us as well. And I thank you for inviting me and coordinating this. It's been a great opportunity for me.
Thank
I'm really
Brenda.
grateful to you.
And that's a perfect setup for me to thank our committee, our webinar committee chair and administrator, Ala Kostenko. Thank you, Ala. And thanks to everyone on the webinar committee, including Dave Gridley, Madeline Longoria Garcia, Ross Uehara Tilton, Donna Woolley, Maria Holmes, Abby Munoz. And I'm Chris Manfredi. And thank you all for joining us for this webinar series. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of great information. And we're bringing some value to our members at this time. We hope to do a lot more of it. So stay engaged, email us, volunteer. We appreciate the help. It's going to take all of us working together to get through this. Thank you and aloha.